Today, I would like to talk about 5 reasons why WMAF is bad and why it is detrimental to human society and the planet Earth in general. First of all, for those of you who don't know, WMAF stands for Western Man and Asian Female, and it is very popular in the US and other places on Earth. You can find a lot of WMAF couples on over California West Coast and also other major Asian cities and countries like New York, China, Japan, Taiwan, and also one place where WMAF actually is very popular is in Russia, especially in Siberia, where uh, you can see that a lot of white men um, marries an Asian kind of um, female with an Asian heritage, where DNA wise is classified as an Asian. So over Russia, the east of Russia, and also Siberia, uh, those are the places where actually WMF is very intense, in the sense that you can see a very high percentage of Asian women goes to um, out marry to white Slavic Russian men. Percentage wise, maybe probably over 50%. So that's why I would say that it's actually very intense. But also in California, probably the second most intensive WMAF relationship, um, where the place would be the second most intensive, probably over 30 or 40% of Asian women would outmarry or would date would date white men. So those are the two most preference places where you can see WMAF couple on Earth. The first is Russia, Siberia, Eastern Russia. The second is California. The third is probably New York or Japan, China, and Taiwan. And for other places like Europe, you can also see them as well. So back to the main topic, why WMAF is bad for the human society. Um, First of all, I have to disclaim that I don't have any particular bias towards any interracial relationship, or no, I am a racist. I talk about this topic um, uh, mostly because I see that WMAF relationship is very prevalent and percentage wise over the women. I mean, Asian women do out marry or date other groups of men the most. So, for example, you don't see as many white women percentage wise would out marry to other ethnic groups like or Hispanic women, nor for black women. They don't out marry or go to the other ethnic group as at a higher percentage than the Asian women group. So I would say that the number one reason why I think it's bad for the planet Earth is that the way that the high, this percentage wise uh, the it is somewhat alarming that over 30% or 40% of women go out of their own ethnic group, it is very alarming and sometimes very toxic to the cultural background or cultural preservation of the Haitian heritage. So that's the number one reason. Number one reason is alarming, and it is detrimental to the preservation of Asian heritage. Think about it. If for 30 or 40 years, the first generation of there will be a one generation of Asian uh, heritage going out and marry someone, and the second generation will be formed, and for another 30 or 40 years. So over this 70 years, you have a significant portion of Asian culture being lost. I assume that the second generation, they don't usually appreciate or look at the Asian culture as um, to be as important as the the first generation, and um, and yeah, so that's the first reason. The second reason would be the second reason would be is is not a very good relationship. For WMAF relationship, it's just not good at all. Why say that is lots of such relationship is forceful, and a lot of such relationship are due to fetish and brainwashing. First of all, you have to understand why such a high percentage of Asian women go to the white man. It's not it's not white man being attractive at all. It's just that a white man uh, good at brainwashing other gender or other or just yeah, good at brainwashing and very persuasive and also very talkative, and they have a good plan at how to play the game, and they always have a plan in their mind, and they are very manipulative. Again, I'm not racist towards any type of ethnic group. It is based on my personal opinion over my daily samplings over my my friends and also my colleagues and also the people that I met. Again, this is just my personal opinions over the sampling of all the people I know. That women is the white men are in general are more manipulative, persuasive, and also good at brainwashing. Therefore, um, Asian women would fall into their plan very easily, and due to endless brainwashing, they would just go to the white man, and um, at the end of the day, they will be the prey to the predator, sort of, because of the endless chase that the predator go for and hunt for the prey in the dating game. So compared to white men, Asian men are not as persuasive as white men are. So they don't usually get or they don't usually get the attention of Asian women as the white man would get their attention. So a lot of these relationships are due to fetishes and also due to brainwashing, but not built on genuine love and also genuine emotional relationship. So a lot of such relationship ends up pretty badly. For example, I've seen a couple of some WMAF couples. They date for 3 years, and then later on they break up, and because the white man um, kind of is they are fed up with the relationship and they go for another Asian woman. So what happens to the Asian woman that got dumped by the white man is that they become depressed, and they lost faith to human society in general. Some of them just they just don't feel good at all at any future relationship, and so they become single for the rest of their lives. So that's why the second reason why I think WMAF relationship is bad to the human society is that some most of the relationship are forceful, and most of the relationship are due to brainwashing and also fetishes. And the victims would be the Asian woman that got dumped by the white man who chased over another Asian woman, another new target of, uh, of their dating games or marriage. So it's bad because the um, it just uh, a lot of women will get hurt because of this kind of relationship. The third reason why I think WMAF is bad to the human society is that okay. So to recap, the first reason is bad to the cultural preservation. The second reason is that is this kind of relationship. Most of them does not build on love and genuine emotion. The third relationship would be that WMAF again would be bad to the Asian man in general. So uh, because of the intense competitions uh, and the prevalence of WNAF that brings to the dating games of Asian men. A lot of Asian men they can't uh, they're unable to get the attention of Asian women, and where still most of them do not want to go out to date white women or black women. They don't want to date outside their race, so they are forced to be single for the rest of their lives, or they have to stay till they are 40s or 50s to get some of those leftover Asian women who got dumped by their previous husbands or previous boyfriend. So they have to wait for a long time in order to uh, to get involved in a true relationship. So that is bad for the productivity of Asian men. First of all, in the 20s and 30s, when they don't get involved in any type of relationship, they would not have a healthy lifestyles, or um, they would not have a healthy growth emotionally and also professionally, due to the lack of support um, from their from the partners because they don't have one at all. So I don't. I see a lot of examples like, um, you know, some of the Asian men they just fail in their career mostly not because they are not skilled or they are not good at their works. Most of them are just they just gave up because they don't see the point of having a career because they can't even raise a family, they can't even find a partner at all. So what's the point of making money? What's the point of moving on? So some of them just become alcoholics or even fall victim to drugs and weeds and gamblings and so on and so forth. So that's the third reason. It is back to an Asian man. So the fourth reason is that it's actually also back to white men. Why I say that is you can see a lot of white men chasing Asian girls, and they be very successful. They get all the loves and they get all the attentions. So why would I say that it is back to the white man in general? Also, it's just bad in the sense that it's not good for their reputation. Again, I'm not racist or anything. I just mean that think about it. If you see too much of this WMAF relationship on the streets, um, you may for someone who sees such kind of relationship, they may think that why such relationship is so popular, why this white man go over Asian women. So it is very sickening and also very um, disgusting in the sense that um, you because you don't see such relationship in other interracial relationship. So for white men who don't get involved with WMAF at all, I think for their so they may deem as normal, quote unquote, and um, and but you don't know whether such if they have this kind of fetishes or not. So in general, white men will be deemed as um, they may think that people may think that every white man would have a yellow fever or would have such fetishes, and of course, it's not fair to any other white man who don't even love Asian women or they don't even have such fetishes. It's just not unfair to them, to normal white men who get involved in who don't have such interracial preference or who don't have such who don't want to brainwash other minorities or who don't who think every race are equal and who are not racist at all. So for white men who are not who don't have any racial preference in dating or in in everyday life, because of such preference of WMAF relationship, their reputation will also be brought down by such relationship. So that's the fourth reason. Okay, what is the ultimate reason why I think WMAF is bad to the human society? The ultimate reason is um, WMAF is is um is back to the white women. Okay, so as for the fourth reason I talk about white is back to the white man. The fifth reason is that is back to the white women. Why that is that? So if you think about from the perspective of the third reason, that the BMF is back to the Asian man, you can change the angle a little bit and to imagine that you are a white woman and you see such preference of WMAF relationship. So a portion of a large, maybe a small, or maybe 30% of white men will go to Asian girl. So only 70% of white men are available for white women. So the competition will be very intensive for white women. So you may see a lot of white women not being able to get married to their um, ideal white man because of the preference of the WMAF relationship. I have seen a couple of examples. I met a girl, uh, um, um, a girl of Russian heritage, that she complains to me that a lot of Russian um, a lot of Russian men, they have Asian fetishes, and they just only date Asian girls, and they don't like Russian women. Of course, not many Russian men would do that, but she complains to me that the one that she loves have such preference, have such racial preference. So she said she complains to me about that, and she said she has been single for many years, and she has been um, uh, wanting. He has been waiting for her ideal husband to come to her life, and she becomes very frustrated, and um, she gains weight because of that, and now she weighs over 160 pounds, and due to eating disorder caused by the lack of love that is brought by the preference of WMAF relationship in Russia. So she is from Russia, Siberia, East Russian society, where you can see a lot of Slavic Russian people lived in there, together with their people from Asian heritage. And in that small town, that small village, a small city, the population is probably around only 200,000, and a lot of relationship, a lot of marriage there, probably over 30% about WMAF couples where Russian man marries an Asian woman. And for those Russian women who can't get married, they may not want to date the leftover Asian man, so they have to stay single and to wait for their Russian man to come to their lives. So that's why you see that it's very bad to the white women because of the competition brought by the intensive and prevalent WMAF relationship over this kind of area, um, Far East, Russia, um, or California, or New York, or Japan, China, Taiwan, or, and so on and so forth. So that's it. I've talked about 5 reasons why WMAF is bad to society and humankind. To conclude, the 5 reasons I have talked about is, the first is that um, it's bad to the cultural preservation of Asian and also white culture. The second reason is that is is forceful is a relationship that doesn't build on love, and you can see a lot of breakups and also divorce, and women getting hurt because of that. The third reason is WMAF. The preference of WMAF is bad to Asian men. The fourth reason is that it's bad to the white man. The fifth reason is that it's bad to the white women. Thank you very much for listening to this talk. If you enjoy it, please press the like button and also subscribe to me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.